Okay. Whoa. We are going to have a fabulous day today. I am so excited. I have some guests on. Evelyn's here from California. She's going to just talk a little bit about what's going on in mortgage. But boy, it is so exciting when you get all this feedback. And last week we did a very impromptu, okay, let's just all talk about what's going on in Q1. And Brandy, you hit it out of the ballpark with everybody, and everybody was saying we need more on YouTube. So I appreciate you saying you would do this. And Annie, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the first time we've had anybody back to back 2 weeks.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
I
awesome.
mean, that's powerful. So we have guests on, which is great. We're glad that you're here. This is open to everyone, and we're going to just get started in a minute. Who has never been on Wake Up Wednesday? Is there anybody new to Wake Up Wednesday? Hi, Jim. Unmute yourself and tell us where you're from. Oops, you're muted.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm in Florida, in the Tampa area.
Okay.
Started out in New Jersey, actually. I was an investor for over 25 years. I sold everything right around COVID time, and I thought, how difficult can it be being a real estate agent? It's extremely difficult. So I'm learning now. I have a nice group of people here in Tampa that I service. They all real estate investors.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do my best to kind of get into the residential real estate and learn more about marketing and all that stuff. So that's why I'm here.
Great. Well, we're right down the road in Cape Coral. There's a couple of us on here from Cape Coral, Sherry and Joe Harris. So if you need anything, we're right here to help you out. Welcome. We do
Thank
this
you.
every week. We're going on 4 years now, so it's pretty exciting.
I love
I
it.
have to give a shout out to Garrett.
Hey,
If you guys don't know Garrett, I want to tell you, he's the guy to know. He works for EXP Corporate. Garrett, just tell everybody your role.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a team services analyst, so I help support our agents who have teams or on teams and help agents create teams and maintain their teams. So all things teams with Garrett.
And I have to tell you, he is amazing, but we have a little in with him. Garrett and I go back a long time. So if you really need anything, have questions on teams, and just hit me up. I'll go right to Garrett and we can get on a call. And some point, I would love to have Garrett be a guest and have him talk about teams. That's really important. So we're so glad.
I'd love to. Teams are the future.
I totally agree. So let's see. Anybody else new for the first time? Just jumping on? Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Lauren, hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. How are you?
I'm awake,
You're where? And where are you?
down in Naples, Florida.
Great. We're so glad you're here. We met Lauren earlier this week at an event that Sherry and Joe hosted in their office, which was really cool. They brought in a woman who specializes in safety, and she taught us bam, 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 kick this. It was really pretty cool. We all participated. But if you have not been to a safety protection class, guys, or you haven't been for a while, find one in your area, host one, get someone to do it. It's giving back to the community, and it just makes you aware of your surroundings. So, so glad we got to meet. Uh,
Yes, absolutely. That was a great event.
it was a great event. Evelyn, Evelyn. She was there a second ago. Is she coming back on?
yeah,
Let's see.
good morning.
Hi, Evelyn.
I decided to get on camera at 6 a.m. here, so
So Evelyn has been my go-to mortgage person out in California. I was at a luncheon yesterday and I learned something new. And I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but we always want to bring value. So, Evelyn, tell everybody who you are, where you are, and what we want to just quickly update everybody on what's happening.
Yeah, now my name's Evelyn McDonald. I work for New American Funding. I've been in the business like probably 40 years. I'm actually licensed in every single state in the US, DC, and Puerto Rico. So if you need help that way, but there's just some big changes on the now and on the horizon on condos. And it'll probably, there's some good things, some bad things, but one of the big things right now that's a good change and probably helping in Florida a lot is the fact that when you used to have somebody that was purchasing an investment or a second home, when you did the condo review, there could not be any more than 50% non-owner occupied. And that condition has been waived effective immediately. So that's a good thing. Some other things that are happening, some different things with the insurance, the coverage. It doesn't have to be it's either extended replacement coverage or guaranteed, so that helps out. So there's little bits and pieces. Now, one of the changes that is going to happen as of, hold on a second here, let me tell you, as of August 3rd, which is, it's not really a great thing, but it is what it is what it is. We used to be able to have like on owner occupied, if you put 5% down, we could do a limited review. All limited reviews are now done. So we have to get full reviews, which means all the documents from the HOA. So that potentially can, number one, if HOAs aren't willing to give them, but it's a lot of documentation. And that can potentially increase the cost for your clients. So just know that they have that on the horizon. And then one of the big things with the HOAs as of January of 2027, where the reserves were 10%, now go to 15.
That's a good thing.
I mean, that's no, that I mean that's not a great thing because now your HOAs may have to increase fees, whatever. We're going to look at reserves more. So just know that those things are on there. Also, New American, just so you know, we have a dedicated condo department. So we have a whole group of people hired just that have been here for years that we can review condo complexes. So if you have somebody that you got a potential listing, you know what I'm saying, if you want to see, because the big thing of the Fannie Mae blacklist, where if they had balcony issues or things like that. So if you've got any project that you're not sure of, just reach out to me. We can kind of give a quick, do we know if it's approved or not? If you have a complex that needs to get approved, if you have a brand newer complex that maybe you want to get FHA, VA, those type of approvals, we can handle that for you.
Great. Evan, put your contact information in the chat.
You got it.
Thank you so much.
You're
So,
very welcome.
we are so excited to have Brandy back this week. And as I said, in 4 years of doing this, I don't think I've had a guest 2 weeks in a row because it was just so much information that she just jumped on last week. It was kind of an open topic. And we were like, oh my gosh, give us more. So Brandy is a top agent. She has major accomplishments, but I just want to jump right on and find out how she's so successful, how she got going with YouTube, and how she doesn't pay for leads. So Brandy, thank you again for showing up. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Okay, so I got a little presentation here to make sure that we hit all the spots, but I'm going to try to do it quick enough where we have time for a lot of Q&A. And if anyone wants to stop me while I'm doing this as well to ask questions, please feel free. Am I able to share my screen or?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, so let me. I don't see.
See, usually everybody's able to share their screen without any problems.
I think you've got to share it as a host.
Okay, Annie, you're co-host on this. We're good at Wake Up Wednesday. We're not good at technology all the time. There you go.
I'm going to try. So I can see all of you. Can you see my screen now, my slideshow?
We can. Beautiful.
Okay, beautiful. So let me see from the beginning. If I have it full mode, can you all see the whole thing?
Yes, it's great.
Okay, perfect. So I can't see you guys or the chat box, so just stop me if you need to. All I can see is my presentation here. So what I'm going to do is show you today how we are not chasing leads and we're actually getting people to call us. And we're doing it as easy. You probably can't see me lifting up my phone right now, but as simple as your iPhone. You don't need any fancy equipment or anything. You can if you want to, but I like to keep it simple. I'm not super tech savvy, and the good news is you don't have to be either. So who is this for? This is for people that are shy. You want to get out of your comfort zone. You want to help people. You're good at what you do, but you don't know how to get in front of enough customers. If you're starting over, for me, my husband and I moved from Southern California, sight unseen, in 3 weeks to North Carolina, and we didn't know a soul. Ended up getting my real estate license 8 months later in the state. And again, didn't even know the 12 cities that surrounded my main metro area. So if I can do it, you can do it. And third is, are you tired of chasing people? Are you tired of cold calling, door knocking, calling all your friends and family and asking for referrals? So all those things work, but you just have to choose, what is your heart, is what I like to say. I cold called, I door knocked, I got business, but it wasn't my favorite. So this was a nice alternative. Okay, so this is our roadmap to starting YouTube. So we want to make sure that we're picking videos, topics that are actually going to rank. What are people actually searching for? You don't have to worry about trying to go viral, being trendy. It's all about whether you're targeting someone locally that's in your own town or relocation. I happen to do relocation, one, because I relocated here, so I understand it. And two, my state is one of the top states that people are relocating to. So if that fits you, that could be a possible niche for you. But if you're super local, it'll work for you as well. So just think as if you're a buyer or seller, what kind of things are people wanting to know? What are they looking to figure out so that you're searchable? And then you're going to build a repeatable system, so you take the guesswork out of it. I was talking to Anne before the call started, and I was saying it seems overwhelming, but once you get in the groove of it, it just becomes repetition, and it's just about being consistent week after week. And then by doing that, over time, you're going to start having people watch and consume you. It's kind of like a commercial that never stops. So say you keep seeing a commercial about Doritos and you don't want Doritos right now, but in a couple weeks, you're like, hey, I want some Doritos and I know exactly where to go because I've been watching that video. And then they're going to end up calling you. And then for locally, you're going to dominate your market. Now, one big thing to remember, and I know someone brought this up at our last call as well, is a lot of people think YouTube is social media. It's not social media. So again, you don't treat it like TikTok, Instagram. It's a beast of its own. So it's an actual search engine. So you want to look at it just like Google. Whether you're going on Google and you're looking up information to find, or you're, going on YouTube and Googling, it can be anywhere from, how do I fix this hole in my wall? Or how do I put this baby carriage together? So people that are trying to buy and sell a home are doing the same thing. They're getting on these search engines and they're looking, moving to this city, pros and cons of living in this city. What are the best neighborhoods to live in? How much does it cost to live in this city? So these are all the things that you want to be thinking about before you start recording your videos, is what's important, what's going to draw people to want to know this information, consume it, see you as the local expert, and then give you a call. And why does this work for real estate? So one, it builds trust. So unlike cold calling, for example, where you're just trying to chase a sell, they don't know anything about you. Whereas when they're watching you and consuming hours and hours and hours of your content, they start to feel like they know you. So then they build this trust and this bond with you, even though you've never talked to them before. It's like a parasocial relationship where they call you and they're acting like they're your best friend. Their kids are getting on the Zoom video and saying that they want to meet this YouTuber. And you're like, what? I'm just a local real estate agent trying to give you information. So it's nice that instead of people, hanging up on you, not giving you the time of day, they're actually calling you, texting you, emailing you, saying, please, I need you to help me. And again, clients come pre-sold. They're spending a lot of time. Lance actually just had someone call him the other day, and he was talking to him, and he said, hey, out of curiosity, how long have you been watching my videos? And they said 7 months. And he's like, 7 months? And they're like, wow. Yep. And now we're ready to buy now. We want to come down here in 2 days. We're going to spend 3 days. We're leaving with the home. We want to be closed by May or June max. So when it happens, it can happen quickly, which is amazing. Again, you're not doing outbound calls. People are calling you, which is nice. And one of my favorite things, because I used to do a lot of open houses, and open houses are great. They do work. But again, choose your hard. Not my favorite. I would rather the time it takes to drive, put up my signs, sit in the house with people either coming or not coming, and then reverse that. I'm spending a good 4 to 6 hours of my weekend doing an open house to maybe get a couple leads. Some people are going to ghost me, or they already have agents. Whereas if I spend 2 hours between my script, my filming, and uploading, doing all the things, I have an evergreen content. Unlike that open house that's set and gone and that house is sold, I'm recording content that people are going to keep searching, looking, and I'm constantly bringing new people in, and it will live forever until I decide to take that video off. So for example, I look at my analytics each morning, and it shows me on average, I have 400 to 600 people consuming me every 48 hours. So every 48 hours, I'm in front of 500 plus people while I'm doing my day-to-day life or even sleeping. You can't do that cold calling, door knocking, open houses. So it's pretty cool. And the big thing is to find your niche. So just like the old saying goes, jack of all trades, master of none. It's the same concept with YouTube. It's the same concept as being a real estate agent. A lot of agents get their license and they're like, call me, I do everything, I'll help everyone. And it's not that you won't or don't want to help everyone, but when you don't speak to your certain audience, you're not gonna scale. So the big thing is finding what is your niche. And the good news is you don't have to do something you don't want to do. Do what's true to you. And then once you master that, then you can add the next. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to still attract other people that you're not speaking to directly. They're still going to come. So niches could be relocating families, first-time buyers, investors, probate, divorces, upsizers, downsizers, literally the whole gamut. It will all work. So I always say just choose the one that resonates most with you. Again, I started with relocating families because I'm like, hey, people are going to understand if I say I relocated just like you this long ago, they're going to call me. And those are my clients that call me. Hey, just like you, I relocated. And then what's interesting, like I don't market to first-time buyers. So mine's upsizers, downsizers, retiring, and relocators is basically who I target. But last year, for example, 8 of my clients were first-time buyers over 50, which was shocking to me. So I'm like, okay, I think I have a new niche I need to start talking to. So it's interesting, even though you're not directly talking to them, because you're hyper-focused, not only are you able to funnel all those people to you, you are still going to get all those outliers. So don't feel like you're leaving business on the table either. And then this slide right here, I'll give you all this this presentation if you want, or if you want to take a picture of this. I threw in 20 video topics that you could start recording today, this month, this quarter, to get you guys started. So if you're into relocation, there's some ideas, neighborhoods, mistake videos are huge. I always say don't do too many, don't do this, avoid this, but it is going to get the views. But the goal is not just to get views, it's to get the right people watching you. Again, you don't want your video to go viral where you have people in all these different countries that are watching you just for entertainment, because they're not ultimately going to buy a house. You want to focus and make sure the people that are clicking on it actually are considering wanting to buy a home, or maybe they know somebody and they're forwarding your video to them to consume your content. And I always let my client, or not my clients, I'll tell other colleagues, even if your video, say you got 100 or 300 views on your video and you're like, boo-hoo, that's not a lot. Well, if you walked into a room and you had 300 people staring at you and they all wanted to talk to you, would you have time to talk to 300 people? You wouldn't. You just need one. So out of those 300 people, if there's just one person that calls you, is it worth your time in doing that video? Absolutely. Some of my least amount of time watched videos have gotten me the most clients. And one of them is, it's so silly, it's like making a video about schools. So schools are really important to a lot of families that are here locally and relocating. So I did one on the schools, what to expect, things to know to avoid, misconceptions coming from one area versus another. You think you can go into a school system automatically from a zip code and find out you can't. Well, people want to know that, whether they're here locally, moving to different part of town, or out of state. So something as simple as that, again, you're just educating a person and they appreciate that. And they're going to say, if she knows that, if she's willing to do a video, and someone said this to me, if you're willing to make a video about schools, what else do you know? And what else can you help me with? I'm absolutely hiring you. So again, just come from a place of service, of value, of education in your style, whether you're fun, quirky, serious, analytical. I'm super analytical. I'm a fun fact person. So I just speak to who I am and I attract my clientele, which is awesome. Am I doing okay, guys?
Great.
Love it.
Amazing.
Keep
Good job.
going.
Okay, perfect. Let me get some water real quick. It's weird not seeing anybody. It's like I'm talking to myself.
We can see you. You're doing great.
Brandy,
Okay.
you're doing awesome. I do a lot of YouTube. I do a lot of social media advertising, and you're still making this class entertaining and educational and informative for somebody like me. And so I'm sure that you're covering the full gambit of people's levels. So just want to
Perfect.
kind of give you those kudos. Take another drink of water. You're doing awesome.
I'm trying. I have stage fright, so
Don't.
and I've never done this before. So I'm like, okay, I can do this.
You're doing awesome.
Okay, so what actually works on YouTube? So a lot of people, a big mistake that people make, especially if you've been doing it for a while, or you're just starting and you want to get all fancy and you're like, oh, well, everybody's doing that, I'm going to try this new thing. Don't do it. Repetition works, repeats work, same topics work. So even though you will get bored and you will find like, oh, I've been talking about this, all my viewers are going to be like, oh, we've already heard this before. When you actually look at your analytics, as you start getting videos and start getting enough information to dissect everything, what you're going to find is month over month, a majority of your consumers watching your videos are new, which was shocking for me. Every month, 75% of my viewers are new viewers. So that means if they're not looking at my old videos and going into my playlist, they've never heard it before. It's brand new to them. And even for my 25% that are returning viewers, because they're not from here or because they're trying to educate themselves of why they would or would not want to move to a certain location, they need to keep hearing it. Just like we learn, we need to hear something at least 7 times. They're the same way. You can repeat it a different way, but you're basically giving them the same information, but you're just wording it and presenting it in a different way. So the big thing is just, what are people wanting to know? And then thumbnails. So you want them to be simple but engaging, something that clarifies what you're doing, piques curiosity, but you want to make sure that you don't do them where it's clickbaity. If they click it because it looks super exciting or super scary or, whatever it is, and then your first 30 seconds has nothing to do with what they just saw, they're dropping off. So you want to make sure it's enough to get them to click, but when they start hearing what you're talking about, it resonates with that image that they saw where they want to keep watching. Because if they drop off in the first 30 seconds and enough people do that, the algorithm is going to say, oh, this video isn't any good. People don't want to watch it. Let's not recommend it anymore and let's just push it down. And then it just kind of goes away. So when people are clicking on, the goal is for them to stay on for at least that 30 seconds without dropping off, because that's one of the analytics that it's doing. So you want 70% or more retention on that video. So again, analytics come in later, but if you start looking and you're like, oh, within 30 to 50% of the first 30 seconds, people are dropping off, I'm doing something wrong. Is it my thumbnail? Is it my title? Is it how I'm opening? Am I not hooking them to come in? What is it? So you can get into that. And then you're going to get higher click time ratios. Again, don't do this, avoid this. Emotions are going to drive those clicks. But again, you want to balance them out where you maybe like have one of those to every 10 videos. If they're all just about no's, you're going to get also the negative Nellies in. And those usually aren't the ones buying homes. They're just the ones blowing up your messages with all these negative comments. And again, you don't want that for people who are actually thinking of moving to your city. And then again,
question.
Yes.
On your videos, so if you want to get the first like 30 seconds to really captivate people, how long are you finding is the proper video length in total that you're having great retention and great analytics from?
That's a great question. So the short answer is you want it long enough for the information you're giving people. So you don't want it too short, but you don't want it too long. So you don't want to try to stretch a long video that can't be stretched and just add a lot of fluff and stuff, because people are going to lose interest, see that you're fluffing stuff in it, and they're going to just get off. But you also don't want it short enough where you leave your audience hanging like, well, okay, she said that, but what about this? What about that? Because now you're going to lead them searching again, and they could go somewhere else. So a sweet spot, because you also want people to watch long enough. And a lot of times on the analytics, you at least want to keep a person in the beginning when you're starting out, at least for 3 to 4 minutes. If you can retain your audience for at least 3 minutes, the algorithm's going to reward you. It's going to say, wow, her stuff must be good enough. Like, let's start pushing it out and see other people that are interested in these topics if they'll click on as well. So as you continue and you're looking at your analytics, you're like, great, I got him for 3 minutes. Can I get him for 4? Now, can I get him for 5? I have people on average watching holistically on my channel right now. It's 5.5% is my click-through ratio. And my time on average is 8 minutes. So, and my videos on average are about 18 minutes is my videos. I try to keep them 15 to 18 minutes, but I will go as long as 30 minutes if it needs it. If I do home tours, 30 to 45 minutes. But my shortest video, I try not to have it dip below 10 to 12 minutes. And again, it's because of watch time. Like, how long are they going to watch it? So the shorter it is, the less they're going to watch it. But I also don't want it to be so long when they see all their video choices and my competition that they're like, oh, well, these people have, 15-minute videos and these are super long. Like, I don't have that kind of attention span. So let me look at this. So you kind of want to balance them out. You can have short, medium, and long. Just make sure it's relevant to the topic that it's going to want to retain them. So I've had 15-minute videos where people will watch them for 9 minutes. And then I've had others, if they're only watching them for 3 minutes and I thought it was great, I'm like, okay, let's revisit it. Let's rewrite it. Where are they dropping off? What do I think maybe the problem is? Let me try a new thumbnail. Let me try a new title and redo it and see if it performs better. So you can always start and then, say, okay, now how do I make these tweaks?
Brandy, do
Yes.
you use a teleprompter to keep you on track?
So in the beginning, my first year, I did not. I actually wrote it, I typed on a Word document, and I would just look at my piece of paper off the camera, and then I would look at the camera and say however many words I could remember, and I would just do that because I was just terrified of using technology. But I finally got tired of it and said, you know what, I'm ripping the Band-Aid off and I'm trying. Because I also didn't like if my eyes weren't looking at a person and I was like looking this way, I'm like, okay, people are going to drop off because they're going to see I'm not engaged with them. So practice, consistency gets better over time. So now I do use a teleprompter. And if
Thank
you're not a
you.
teleprompter person or a script person, I know a lot of colleagues that also just do bullet points. They'll just take a piece of paper or write on one of those little whiteboards and put it behind them, behind their camera where they can glance at it and look at their bullet point, and it says location. So you're going to say, okay, for a minute or two, I can talk about location. And then next thing, okay, places to eat, jobs, traffic, whatever it is, best neighborhoods. You just look at that bullet point and in your mind say, okay, what can I talk about for 1 to 2 minutes? And then you do that. And if you just pick 5 topics, including your intro and your outro, you got a 12-minute video. So even though 12 minutes sounds scary and super long, if you have a conversation with someone and even just practice what I just said and did location, commute, jobs, restaurants, top 2 or 3 neighborhoods, maybe a fun fact, or whatever you want to do, you're going to go super fast. You're going to be shocked. Does that help answer your question?
This is great. And we'll read the questions. Annie can read the questions in the chat later for you because I know you can't see them, but Lance has been kind of monitoring them. So we're doing good. We're all teaming together here.
Perfect. So what kind of videos to make? I know we've talked a little bit about this, but again, relocation videos, especially if someone's relocating to your state. I know Florida is huge. I have a lot of Florida people on here. We get people coming from the West Coast, especially California, people from up north between Long Island, Connecticut, and then Florida. So if they're not moving to North Carolina, they're moving to Florida. So relocation videos are huge. People want to know about cost. Give them valuable information, like not just only telling them the cost difference, but I give them the tools where to go to research themselves. I put a little video in there as I'm saying, oh, you can go to this site and type in your state versus the state you're wanting to move in and look at this information. So I actually walk them through the process of how to get started to figure it out, which is the exact process that I did when I was considering moving here as well. The next thing most people want to know, again, whether you live here locally or from somewhere else, is what suburb do I want to live in? Why do I want to live there, or why don't I want to live there? So if you break down all of that stuff, I have local friends now who will just watch my videos just to find out local information. And I had someone the other day that says, Brandy, I've lived in this city for 7 years and I didn't know half of the stuff that you talk about. I watch your videos just so that I know more about my city and more about the areas. And then I go and do these things that you're talking about. Thank you for doing this. And this is just some local person. So she's like, I'm not ready to buy. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, but I'm absolutely referring you if I hear of anyone. So that's pretty awesome. Again, pros and cons. People want to know why they do or don't want to live there. Those videos are going to be your top performers. And then if you want lots of people viewing, do the mistakes and the warnings, things you wish you knew, reasons why you don't. And again, you don't want to make too many of them. You just want maybe 1 per 10 that you do. But it's also good to know, like people do want to know, why do I want to avoid this? The city that I live in, a lot of people love it, but a lot of people don't. And so I actually do videos on, even when I do a negative video, I am putting positive in there because I don't want just to be a negative Nelly, but I am letting them know the truth. Like, hey, this is what people don't like. This is what you're going to find if you live here. But guess what? I still live here and I'm okay with it. And a lot of other people are too. So maybe it is or isn't for you. You decide. My job is just to give people the lifestyle, let them know what the lifestyle is, and it either fits them or it doesn't. And people appreciate that honesty. I have people that have called and said, okay, this one city, you were the only person that said these 2 negative things. I researched every competitor of yours. Not one person brought up either of these negatives, and they are huge negatives. And that is a deal breaker for me. So if you're willing to go on camera and tell me this, and no one else was, what else are they, not willing to tell us? I'm hiring you. And I've gotten 3 referrals off of that person as a result of that, which is pretty awesome. Map videos are another great one to use, especially if you are very familiar with your town. Maybe you grew up in your area. You can just open up your Google and you literally hit record, put yourself on a little circle or square in the corner, and you just start talking about each area. You say, point out anything about the restaurants, the parks, proximity to jobs, whatever it is that would pique someone's interest. And as you're talking about it, aside from them seeing the map, you can do little overlays where it just pops up whatever you're talking about, the favorite park, the favorite this, and you're just popping up these little images for them. But if you're getting started and you're like, no, that's too much for me, you can just do a map video, just talk about it, and they will consume it and they will watch it. And everybody loves map videos. And then the last one is comparison videos. So again, a lot of people are in between, do I want to live in city A or city B? And city A and city B are right next to each other. There's a lot of those city A's and B's, but people prefer one over the other. And again, there's no right answer. It all comes down to lifestyle. But when you nitpick and show what those little variances are, it helps people really narrow in, oh, well, that one's for me versus that one, even though I thought the opposite. Let me call her. She's really, knowledgeable in that. And what else can she tell me? And your phone's going to start ringing. So the 4-part video structure that's going to help you convert. Again, you want to start with a hook. The last thing that you want to do is say, hi, I'm Sarah James and I sell homes in this area and you should call. Like, you don't want to just start talking about yourself. People didn't jump on to hear who you are and where you are, and they just want to consume the information. And as they're consuming the information, you'll end up dropping in some little information. You can flash up your phone number and email to contact you. Do a call to action at the end or even in the middle and the end, but never start just saying who you are. Just jump right into grab their attention in the first 30 seconds. This is what, we're going to be talking about, or just some great fact that's going to catch people's attention, or a question. Are you considering moving to Tampa, Florida? And you're going to start, and yeah, I am considering, that's why I'm watching you. Like, what are you going to talk about? And then you start talking about the area. Again, you want to add value, no fluff and stuff. So only make it as long as it needs to be. If commuting time doesn't need to be longer than 30 seconds, don't make it 30 seconds. If it needs to be 4 minutes, let it be 4 minutes. I just did one on a suburb that has a lot of pros and cons. One of the biggest cons is the commute and being on the wrong side of town. I did 4 minutes of that video where all I did was talk about drive time and commute and what a big difference it makes. And I had so many people calling me and people going in the comments saying, I can't believe you covered this. Like, nobody is talking about that. And that is a big subject that people want to know. So if traffic, commutes, any of that is a factor in your city, and there's one side that's better than the other, depending on where they need to be, what they need to do, definitely talk about it. Because even though it seems boring, it's the things that people really need to know, and they don't want to move on the wrong side of town, especially when it can make a 30-minute difference on their drive. And then by doing all of this, people are going to start trusting you. You're just going to build trust, and they're going to want to call you. And again, you want to make sure middle, or especially at least the end, that you have a call to action. What do you want them to do? And then basically you just want to make sure, again, your title, you want to make sure it's interesting enough where it's going to stop the scroll for people to want to click on it. You want to make sure it piques their curiosity. It has keywords and it does play off their emotions. What was I going to say? And then on the description, you want to make sure it's SEO driven. Now we have ChatGPT. We didn't have AI when I started this, and now it will make your life a lot easier if you want to do it. I did everything old fashioned, just Google search. But now I use AI as my assistant. So your description, you want it to be 200 to 300 words. You want to make sure you put targeted keywords in there, but it needs to flow naturally. It doesn't want to seem like you just superimposed it. Thumbnails, you want to make sure that they pop. that they draw people's attention. You don't want to put too many words on there, and you want to make sure that you put your face on there. Your face, some people just smile, some people are shocked, some people are curious. You can do different emotions depending what your videos are about. And then some people do them new all the time, some people use their full body. So you can kind of get creative with that and what works for you. You just want to make sure it's not too busy and also not too boring. And then as you build videos over time, you want to make sure you start adding playlists. So for your playlist, you can do them per city, you can do them based on topics, whatever you're wanting to do. So I have one based on each of my cities. And then I also have, if you're retiring here or if you're relocating here, start here. So you can do different little playlists so people can go on them. And if they're just interested in that one city, they don't have to scroll through all your library of videos. They can just click on that and say, oh, she has 5 videos. Oh, she has 10 videos. And they can just consume all of just that city. Okay, so I know I talked about this earlier. Consistency always wins. So what you want to do is make sure that you are consistent. I did not do this the first 8 months that I was doing this, and my results showed, which was absolutely nothing. People weren't watching, people weren't calling, and it's because I couldn't get over myself. I was too shy. I was worried about what people were going to think, how I was going to come across, what I was going to look like, and I just couldn't get past myself. And then I was watching this lady on a podcast that said, you need to give it, and it was like she was talking to me. She's like, you need to get over yourself and realize there is someone on the other side of this camera that is waiting for you. They are wanting you to do this, and they need to be helped. They want to move. They want to buy a house. They want to sell their house, but they can't do it because you can't help them because you can't get past yourself. So just sit down and say, okay, I am talking to that person that needs me. Nobody else, not hundreds of people, not all my critics, just that one person that if today in real life, if my phone rang and they said, hey, there's this house that I want to see. Can you come show it to me? No one's going to say no if you're available. No, I'm in my yoga pants. I just got out of the gym. Sorry, can we do it tomorrow? No, you're going to stop in your yoga pants and you're going to go drive, and they're just going to appreciate that you showed up in your yoga pants and didn't make them wait a day. YouTube is the same thing. You're showing up. They're appreciating that you're showing up, whether your hair's good, whether you have a little pimple on you, it does not matter. They just want the information. And the more real you are, you don't have to be fancy. Be yourself. I mean, if you dress up in a suit, wear your suit. If you do your Sunday best, do that too. But what people see on camera is what they see when they meet me. And every time I get the same thing. You're exactly who I've been watching. I'm like, yeah, because it's me. And they're like, no, I'm like, it's me. So it's not the business card from, 30 years ago. And then you pop up and you're like, hey, it's me. I look no filters. I have my wrinkles. I have my roots, whatever I have. That's who you're getting when you get in person. And they love it. They're like, you're authentically you. And that's why they're calling you. You don't have to prove yourself. They've already fallen in love with you and trust you. So it's an amazing thing when you just show up authentically. And one thing that helps save time, because it can be time consuming, is to batch your content. I'm still not the best at this, but if you do, I try to do 2 to 3 videos. I feel like my voice can't do more than that. Some people can, but for me, it takes me about an hour to film 2 videos, sometimes 40 minutes, depending on the length and my mistakes. But if you can batch at least 2, then you only have to do this twice a month, which is nice. But if you can just do it all at once, then it's just a one-time shot and it's done, which is really nice. And over time, it's just going to keep building. And what's nice is you can unlist any videos that you want at any time. So I always say at least do your first 20, you're going to suck. We all suck, and it's okay. Lance can attest to this. I'm like, just do it. And he's just like, I hate how I sound. It don't sound natural. I'm like, neither did I. Just keep doing it. And then once you have enough videos on there, the ones you hate, which is going to be your first 20, just one at a time, unlist it, re-record it, make it better. And then just keep doing that. So again, you're not going to have to come up with 20 new scripts. You already had them. Now you could see the analytics. where were people dropping off? How long were they watching? What tweaks can I make to redo this and make it better, even if it's using the same script and just changing my title, changing my thumbnail, and now coming back as a better version of myself, more natural, and then reposting that video. But you always want to make sure you unlist the previous one so that there's no conflict saying, oh no, we have a copyright issue. There's already a video out there about the exact same thing. You do have to make it a little bit different. And then don't delete the video, just unlist it. So when you unlist it versus delete it, the nice thing about it is all the watch hours stay in your analytics. So it will count towards you versus disappearing. So don't delete them.
Randy,
Yes.
the word of the day. Gitmo. What does
Yes.
that mean?
So my coach, Krista Mayshore, she's big on Gitmo. Good enough to move on. And that was what I needed from her. She really helped me with my mindset a couple years ago. Again, I couldn't get past myself, and she is all about Gitmo. So the other day there was a video we were going to drop, and my editor left this little clip where I messed up, and you could hear me a quick blurb going, got to redo that, and he didn't take it out. And Lance was like, send it back and have him do it. I'm like, no, we're Gitmoing, baby. Let's go. And he's like, and I'm like, nope, it's not my first, 30 seconds or 2 minutes. I'm like, nope, I'm Gitmoing. I'm like, people can laugh. They can say whatever. It made me go, huh? So if they're sleeping, they're going to wake up. We're Gitmoing. So definitely Gitmo. And then B-roll. So a lot of people get tripped up on B-roll. And what I would say is, again, first 20 videos, don't worry about it. Just turn the camera on and start talking. You don't have to have any B-roll. My first year, I had 0 B-roll. I did just generic things that you can get for free on different websites. If you have an editor, again, they have free clips that they're able to tap into to put into your video. But as you start getting comfortable and over time, as you're out and about showing homes, you're going to a restaurant, you're at a park, wherever you are, think in the back of your mind, okay, is this something that I would spotlight on my YouTube channel when I'm educating someone on this area? If the answer is yes, pull out your cell phone. Do a quick pan. I will drive a neighborhood slowly, and I will just have my phone on my dashboard, and I will talk out loud. So when I go back home, it all blends together. I'll say I'm at XYZ community in this city. And then I'll put my phone outside my driver window. Again, I'm not looking at it, but I'm driving straight, and it's just videoing the actual houses. So I'm driving slowly by these houses. And again, I'm saying I'm in XYZ community in this city. So that way, when I go to upload it in my drive, I could label it properly so that I know where I am. And then over time, as you're doing that between neighborhoods, even driving on your freeway, if you have traffic, if you have no traffic, all these are little clips that you can add into your video. I walk into shops. I will let the people that work there know, like, hey, is it okay if I video? I have a YouTube channel and I want to spotlight your restaurant or your shop. Absolutely, go for it. And so I will walk through the whole shop, or I will pan certain parts of the shop, but I let them know what I'm doing so that they don't feel uncomfortable. If it's a busy restaurant and we're having lunch or dinner, I don't do that. I'll just be like, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. And I turn on my phone and I'm just walking around and kind of panoing it and trying to seem natural so that people don't feel uncomfortable. And again, these are shots that I can use in my video for future. Same thing with parks or going for a hike. I will actually walk through a park, walk along a lake, and just use my camera so that my audience feels like they're going with me, or it's them doing it. So my whole thing is to try to superimpose them virtually into this lifestyle as they're watching it, to say, would I want to live here or not live here? Do I like the way this community looks, or do I not?
How do you hold your phone when you're filming for YouTube?
So for YouTube, it needs to be horizontal. So you want it to be long. And then if you're doing Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, it's going to be vertical. But for YouTube, if you don't do it horizontal, you're going to have all the dead space on either side, and then you're going to have it filtered in or blurred out, and it just doesn't look right. So always make sure it's long ways horizontal. And then this is something that I just recently started doing this year. So last year, Kyle Whistle was talking about gamma. And then I was on some other mastermind and someone brought up gamma. And then Krista Mayshore brought up gamma. And I'm like, what the heck is this gamma? Like, I need to look up what this gamma is. And I'm a little building nerd. I love to build little things to give to people. So I found out that very quickly you could create lead magnets. You could create books, PDFs, just little one page helpful sheets. And so I said, okay, I'm going to start building these in Gamma. And you could do this in less than 5 minutes in Gamma, which is pretty awesome. You start in ChatGPT. I will go through the whole process, act like ChatGPT is my best friend. And I'm like, hey, I'm trying to do this. This is what I'm trying to do. Where is this, that, or the other? Let's just say hospitals, for example. I want to focus on all the hospitals in Raleigh. Tell me how many hospitals are there? Where are they? Just whatever you're wanting to know. And it'll tell you all of the things. Well, you keep going back and forth until it's giving you enough information and you're like, okay, great. Now can you turn this into Gamma format? I would like to make a presentation or a PDF for a client. And ChatGPT is going to say, that's an excellent idea. Here you go. And then you cut and paste that into Gamma. And it'll ask you a few questions. Do you want it super simple, medium, really detailed, like super concise? The more detail and the more information, the more just like what you're seeing on my screen is going to be. And you can do it a couple times and it'll give you different variations. It'll let you do your own colors. It'll suggest colors if you don't want to think about it. But if you want it to brand it to you, you can put your own branding colors in as well. So you, at the end of the video, you end up letting them know, again, call to action. Give me a call. I can help you. Here's my information. Do you want a free guide to relocating here? Do you want a guide to this, walking tour in downtown, whatever it is, selling guide, moving checklist, and then you superimpose that into your description. Excuse me. And then when they click on it, and you're telling them, click on this, and I'm going to give you this for free. This is going to help you out. And then call me, when you're ready. So when they click on that, you attach that to a form, a simple form in your CRM, and you say, what's your name? What's your phone number? What's your email address? If you don't want to get that, at least their email address. So now they drop into your CRM. You can now follow up with them. You can now put them in a sequence on a drip campaign. You can send out each new video each week as it comes, instead of, a lot of people actually don't subscribe, which is crazy. Half the people I help, they're like, I never subscribe. I don't know why I never subscribed, but I watch you all the time. Okay, great. But when they click on there, then that opens up the opportunity to talk to them. And I know Lance asked me this question the other day. The person that reached out to him after 7 months, he was like, hey, did they ever click and get a guide? And I looked in my CRM and I'm like, they sure did. They did it last week. And it's amazing. So it took about a week before they called him, but they clicked our free guide, which means they were watching one of our videos to get that information. And in your CRM, if you set it up correctly, it'll also show you when that person drops in, where did they come from and what did they do? So that person actually downloaded 3 of my guides. So for me, when I see that, I'm like, wow, this person's pretty serious. They did my relocation guide. They did my toolkit, which actually has 4 guides in one. And then they did my commute comparison guide on all my suburbs. So that one's a real winner with a lot of people here because it makes a difference with our major job hubs here. So whatever's important to your city, if there's something of value that you can do as a lead magnet, it will draw people. And that's all organically. That's not even putting paid ads behind it, which we've been trying to test that with our guides and do paid ads. But 90% we're doing all this organically. Am I still doing all right?
We have about 8 minutes left.
You're doing great. This is amazing.
Sorry, I didn't think it would take this long.
I think we've got about 2 minutes, and then we probably ought to stop for questions.
Okay. It's almost over. So another thing that we just started doing recently as well is blogs. So Krista Mayshore is huge on blogs, and I don't know why, but I didn't listen and I didn't do it. And I'm like, you know what? I have hundreds of YouTube videos. Why am I not turning these into blogs? So now I've turned my YouTube videos into blogs. Some people like to read versus watch, or vice versa. So some people may see your blog and start reading it, and then you put your little link on there for your video, and they're like, oh, I like what this has to say. I don't want to read anymore. Let's watch it. And then they can click it and watch it. So it's a good way to repurpose and get out there in different venues. And again, using AI to stay consistent without burning out. AI didn't exist when I started this, and it's now my best friend. It would take me, I'm not exaggerating because I'm super analytical, it would take me up to 3 weeks to do one video. Now with ChatGPT, I can have my outline, I can rewrite it in less than 2 hours. I'm trying to get better, but I'm still super analytical and super picky. Lance can do it a lot faster because he's more easygoing than I am, but you're going to have the same results, which is awesome. And again, done, not perfect. Remove the fear and just remember, no one's judging you. If people say something bad, it's not against you. They just have something wrong with them. And what you'll also find is you have cheerleaders who are going to jump in and defend you. I don't delete those videos or those comments. I actually reply to them. I have a lot of people say negative things about a certain city, about something I talked about, the fact that I can't pronounce certain words, and I respond to everybody in niceness. And again, be authentic. Don't worry if it's not perfect. People are coming to consume the information, and they're not judging you. They're like, wow, I couldn't do this. I'm glad, he or she is doing this and helping me figure it out. Again, you don't need to be viral. You just need to be found. So make sure you're talking about topics that are important to people, and it's going to bring a lot of clients your way. And my question to you is, what is stopping you from starting? Is it how you look on camera, not knowing what to say, not having enough time, or thinking the market is too competitive? All those are not true. They are just in your head. So I would encourage you to just get started.
No, I'd like to start out because I'm not afraid of the camera. It's the technical aspect of getting it out there. I don't know how to do a thumbnail. I don't know, like, technically how to put the video out there. Who do I hire for an editor? How does that all work? I have no idea.
Yes. So you can start out by going to Fiverr, and you can, whether it's the same video or if you want to do multiple videos and hire multiple people, and hire someone to do it for $40. It's getting harder to find people for that. Now it's about $75. But say, okay, I'm looking for a new editor. Are you interested in doing this? And have them edit it and see what you think. And pick your favorite one out of the 5. It took me a long time to find my editor. And then he just graduated college and left. But all my editors that I use are out of the country. Mm-hmm. My last editor that's part-time, I got through an agency. So I had to pay the agency. And then they were able to find people for me, and I interviewed them, and then I hired someone, which I also then have to pay my person. But you can also, there's a lot of Facebook sites that you can go on to as well. I'll have to look at my notes on what those are. But you can go on Facebook groups too. And it's specifically for people who want to edit or be admins or social media people. And they all put their resumes, and they're like, look at me, please hire me. So there's a lot of people out there. It's just finding them. And I feel like that's the hardest thing and most time consuming. But once you find them, don't let them go.
How about the thumbnail? How do you do the thumbnail?
So the thumbnail, my editor does it now. But sometimes if I don't like it, we can adjust it and fix it ourselves. If you just go on Canva actually has a whole section on thumbnails. So you can recreate your own thumbnail. Look at your competitors or even someone from another state that's doing a similar video title as what you're doing, and you can recreate what it's doing. And Lance has been experimenting with the Gemini.
Gemini. You can literally, if you don't like your thumbnail totally, just go to upload it to Gemini, say, I want this video to say, moving to Arizona, and take my face and put it in there. and make something that's going to go viral and help people click it. And it'll give you a couple different options. It may not work the first time, may take you a couple times, but you need to make sure that you say it's a thumbnail for YouTube because it's a specific size, and it's amazing what you can do. And you were saying about, you know, all the I don't know how to do certain things about videos and uploading. You literally can go to someone that you like's YouTube channel, just we say R&D, just copy it, and then you can take your video, download it. You just click the create button on YouTube, upload it to your YouTube, your video is live.
Wow.
There's a lot. I mean, then there's more to it, with SEO and titles but AI is your friend. And we've been using Chat GPT, but I'm telling you, Claude is the way. So Claude is going to be kind of the takeover from Chat GPT because it's on another level. But just AI will be your friend. We didn't have it. Brandy didn't have it when she first started.
Yeah, it was not fun. And one thing, it just jogged my brain too, Lance, when you were saying that. We're learning a lot of this like everybody else with AI and different platforms that are improving and changing or are becoming better. But one thing that we started using earlier or at the end of last year was Descript. So Descript is awesome too, whether it's short form or long form, especially if you're getting started, you don't have an editor, you don't have time, you don't have the money. Again, Gitmo, good enough to move on. You upload your script in Descript and it'll actually let you change if you're talking too fast or too slow, it'll let you adjust that. If you have dead spaces where you stop talking, it'll be a long line of nothing and you can cut that out. If you kept saying and you don't want the word in there, if there's a whole sentence and you're like, why did I say that? Or I started rambling, or I said I don't like that, I need to redo it. You can actually take that full sentences and delete it. And then when you play it back, all of it's gone. It's like it never existed. And then you can download that and upload it yourself. I also love CapCut if you want to keep it simple. It could be used on desktop or your phone, but you can upload your video and you can just put your little overlays with some of your simple B-roll that you did. Storyblock is free. There's a couple of other ones that are free as well. Some are subscriptions, but it's only like $300 a year. And again, Canva, if you use Pro, there's a lot of clips, whether it's just pictures or little 3 to 7 second clips, you can download those and then use those in your video as well.
How many millions of dollars do you have in leads from the last couple of years of YouTube that are just waiting to buy a house?
100. I just looked it up because I was curious. So just going off of our average sales price, because our clients will, either do more or less, but our average is $475 right now. So with the leads that I've gotten just from YouTube, I have the potential to close 105 million.
That's amazing. So how do you keep in touch with them? Do you drip on them? What's the next level that you take this to? Do you
Absolutely.
put in your CRM?
Yes, everybody's in my CRM. Everybody has a different approach because I have some people that want now, some in the next year, some in 2 years, and some in 5 years. My most recent one is 10 years. And I'm like, and why are we talking right now? It's in 10 years or 5 years. But that is literally people's process. Everybody's different. So depending on that is how they get touched and what they get. So we have individual conversations with every single person. I Zoom. People have to Zoom with me unless there's a technical issue. A lot of times it has to do with age. Then we will do a phone call. But one, I want to build that rapport. I want to see them face to face. I want to make sure they're real. And also, depending what we're talking about, I want to be able to share information on my screen with them because a lot of us are visual. And again, it also helps establish your authority, helps build trust, and shows your value. It separates you from everybody else. And you also are making sure they're paying attention to you. They're not driving, messing with the kids. They're focused on what they're there for. And then based on that, when we hang up the phone call, we're doing a follow-up email. We're giving them a guide based on what we talked about. If it doesn't exist, I'm creating it for them and I'm letting them know that I specialize this just for them. Another one does not exist. I've never given it before. So I want to make sure that they do feel special and I'm treating them that way. And then I ask them, how they like to be communicated with, let them know what to expect. It's big to let people know next steps. What are the next steps? And then when those next steps happen, whether you're dripping a campaign, sending them weekly updates, sending them your once a month, market, fun things to do, depending what it is, they're prepared and not saying, oh, this is junk, I'm going to delete, I'm going to unsubscribe. Oh, she told me this was going to happen and here it is. But if they don't want it, they're going to communicate that with you. You're going to mark the file and then you're going to say, is it okay if I just follow up with you in text and emails every so often? Again, find out their communication style and then lean in on that.
We have a question from Anya.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Brandy, thank you so much. This is awesome. I invited a whole bunch of people, and some of them are here. I'm excited. So, two questions. How long have you been doing this? And also, do you use TubeBuddy? Does it work? Does it help at all?
I love TubeBuddy. Yeah. So we use TubeBuddy and vidIQ. I've been doing this consistently for 2 years. So remember I told you for 8 months, just could not do it. Like I was dropping one every couple of months and then it was just like, oh, this doesn't work. Well, of course it doesn't work because I'm not working. But one day I woke up and I'm like, that is it. It is do or die, no matter what. Even when I was sick one day, had a hard time swallowing. And my husband's like, you're going to do a video today. And I'm like, I committed to it. I am doing it. I look like I am doing it. And I've gotten business off of those. So you do not have to be your best self. It is recommended, but never make excuses. But yes, we absolutely love TubeBuddy. And then last year we started trying vidIQ because you'll get all these random people that email, I can help you with your SEO. Oh, look at vidIQ says this, I can make you score better. And so we got curious and we're like, well, let's download that too and see how it varies. Just me speaking personally, some things conflict where one thing I like about vidIQ is you can put in your title, it'll score it immediately and say it likes it or it doesn't like it, on a scale of 0 to 100. We try to get 90 or better. Sometimes we can't get our titles better than 80, but I won't let them drop below that. But depending what title you put in, it's going to give you 4 more recommendations, which is pretty awesome. And it'll show you what it's scoring it. So we'll do that. I start with my title that I created. And then sometimes it's a win. And sometimes it's like, well, if you said one of these things, but just make sure it still aligns with what your video is actually about. And then you can take, if you use TubeBuddy, same thing. You're going to cut and paste in your title. It's going to give it a score. And it actually shows you metrics that says, this is how many people are actually looking and watching. This is how many videos of your competitors are out there. And this is how you would rank according to what's currently in there. So they both give you similar information, just in different ways. But what I have found is sometimes in vidIQ where it scores very, very well, when you put in TubeBuddy, it says it's terrible. And I'm like, what do you mean it's terrible? They think it's great. So I love when they align, but they don't always align. And so we're kind of testing it out to see which is really true.
Great. You can use vidIQ for keywords too.
Yep.
Guys, I think this has been an amazing, we've gone over, but I don't care. It's great. This is recorded. Annie, tell everybody how they can get this, how they subscribe. We have 4 years of Wake Up Wednesday on libraries. So
we're so glad we met you, Peggy, at the cruise last year.
I know this has been great. I'm so happy that you just said, okay, I'll do this. All right, Annie.
Yeah, just get on. I put it in the chat. Just click the link and then get on YouTube and subscribe. And what's great, if you set it up, and subscribe, it'll send it to you the next day so that you can, if you miss one, you can watch it. You can also join. I put out there in the chat to join so you're notified on Tuesdays that tomorrow we have a Wake Up Wednesday, so you don't miss them. But if you do, you can subscribe and always go back and listen to them. And they're phenomenal. I mean, the content is phenomenal.
You guys, as I said, the talent that shows up here on a weekly basis just blows my mind. Community, there's nothing else like their willingness to share. You don't have to be with EXP to be on these Zoom meetings. Eva runs a Zoom mastermind, other people. We can help you create community. This just doesn't have to be for us. So, like Brandy and Lance are sharing what they do. If you want to start a Zoom and create a community, just ask. We're more than happy to help you do that. We've got some great things coming up at the end of the month. Who on here knows the girl that her tagline is, I got you? Does anybody know who that is? She is amazing. So Alexa Diaz or Diaz, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. She has become a YouTube sensation. Brandy, what do you think the difference is, and why should they come back at the end of the month to watch Alexa? Because you guys are totally different.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we both do things a little bit differently. And again, that's the beauty of YouTube, is you make it what you want it to be and what you're comfortable with. So the difference between us, we do a lot of talking head. So just invite you into my kitchen. It's just you and me, and we're talking, and I'm educating you about all things. And then I will, put little snippets of the communities within it, but I'm not going out. To where Alex is going out into the community. She's showing you house after house after house from head to toe. And then one of the things that I love about her, again, she has a heart of education as well. So she's not just like, oh, look at this beautiful home and describing this beautiful home. She's stopping at the end of it and she's educating you. Okay, what does it look like to get into a home? How, because that's a big thing you'll hear from a lot of people. Well, great, I'm seeing all these homes and all this stuff, but how do I qualify? How much money do I need? What do I need to do? So she'll actually break it down. Okay, this is a sales price. This is how much down you'll need. And she goes through the full process. And then again, she has her call to action, call me, let me show you this, let me help you. And then she holds her hand and walks them through the whole thing. So if you want to be all about home community tours, being out and about, you don't like being behind a desk and you want to be live in the action, she's your girl. She's got you.
So she's on the end of the month. So thank you so much. We have John Pugh coming up this month. We have some more education on different things. I've got a fun-filled, exciting month packed. Brandy, thank you. Lance, thank you. You guys make an amazing couple. I am heading out to catch a plane. Hopefully TSA is not going to be that long. I'm heading home to Connecticut for Easter. If you celebrate Easter, Passover, blessings to your family. I will see you next week. I'll be in Connecticut, and then I'll be catching a flight right after this again. Seems to be a thing. Lisa Kane, how are you? Lauren, thank you for jumping on. Everybody, thank you. And we'll see you next week. But Misty,
take care.
Thank you, Peggy.
That was great,
Thank you. Happy
Brandy.
Easter. Happy
thanks,
Passover.
everybody.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.